Hey everybody, my name is Dina Stanley. I am the Executive Director and founder of Trans Uniting. We're located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We just opened up a community center in Allegheny County, the only one in Allegheny County right now. I'm also the head of Pittsburgh Pride, and I am a business owner. I own a catering company.
You got a nice money.
And my pronouns are she, her.
Hey everybody, my name is Celeste Jones and my pronouns are she and her. I work for Equality MC. I'm the executive assistant to Kendra Johnson. I'm based in Raleigh, North Carolina. I actually want to just take a moment to thank y'all. I came here to figure out where I am in the movement, and just listening to some of the things that y'all are saying are things that I'm currently experiencing. I just want to say thank you, because there's not a lot of people I can connect with in my community about some of the stuff. A lot of girls are still on drugs, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is fine. This is space.
Hello everyone, my name is Melissa Devereaux. I am the Chief of Staff at Baltimore Safe Haven. I am also the CEO and founder of Devereaux Management Group LLC, a nonprofit government affairs consultancy group. Pronouns she and her. And a little bit about me. Listen, as I was saying up here, www.donorbox.org. Please find the work, because the work that we do there is life-sustaining, and it is viable and valuable, and it is imperative to continue to save the lives of community, not only in Baltimore, but we're also opening up branches in the District of Columbia and a city-to-city network of care. So it's absolutely imperative. So if you have it, please donate. Support is a shared donation, anything of that matter.
Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Love Williams and I am located in New Jersey, and my pronouns are she, her. I am an organizer with Black and Pink NYC, and I am the founder of the Gender Project, which provides welcome home packages to LGBTQ plus people come home from prisons and jails along the East Coast. Well, actually, reach out to me from anywhere in the States, I'll get it to you. With that being said, I want to thank Dominique and all of you ladies, whether you know it or not, before you called us up here. These are the moments that I live for. I am 46 years old, and girls and women, cis and trans, we do not take the time to bond and build. And in 2020, when Black and Pink brought me to my first Creating Change, I got to sit and take over half a restaurant with a bunch of amazingly beautiful Black trans women, and we just discussed. We were not sitting here being combative. We were not sitting here trying to be catty with each other. It was building, sharing what I got with you, and making sure we got to network and build. And then those moments, it just kept growing. When I first met Jasmine in December 2019, that was my first time being at one of our in-person DC trips, where it was a plethora of girls there, but women there. And when we took our first smoking break, I was like, because I see me in another location, and I look at all of my trans, I'm assuming sisters, my trans siblings up here, and everybody in the room. And these moments make me feel so great. Last month, I sat here and had a breakdown, and I didn't want to be here. I was questioning myself. Am I doing fucking enough? I sit here and I struggle. I've been sitting here and I'm told the chapter that I needed to go back into the prisons. It took every fiber in my body when I went to go do my first prison visit. When that first door slammed, bitch, my soul left my body, because I swore y'all tried to keep me back in there. These shit, I'm like, am I doing enough? What more am I not doing? What am I missing? Something is not right. But I know I just gotta take it step by step. I'm gonna get there and get everything that I want done for everybody done. But me seeing you guys lets me know It's more me here, and we have some power, and we have some unity, and we all not catty, we all not what the media peddles us out to be. We not out here tricking men. We out here surviving, we out here thriving, and we out here being the factor.
Amen.
Your business don't need. So I want to say congratulations to Gabby. You're in the crowd. Thank you for the $250,000. Anybody want to? I mean, $250. I'd like to thank you so much.
I was gonna ask
There's a Jennifer also here too as well. So I would like to thank you all for making sure that you donate to Baltimore Safe Haven. But I wanted to do a selection. You're my sister. I love my sisters. I can't sing, y'all, but I tried to make a little humor here.
Hi, greetings and salutations. My name is Vernice McFarland. I am the founder and executive director of the Mahogany Project in Houston, Texas. I'm also the founder of the Coalition for Trans Liberation and Third Eye Consulting innovation firm that we are making moves and doing consulting to help expand nonprofit networks in the South. And with the Mahogany Project, we're doing our work to decrease social isolation, stigma, and acts of injustice in TQ LGBT plus communities of color. We also operate the first Black trans physical space in the greater Houston area. Houston is the 4th largest city in the United States, and we only have one space to celebrate Black trans individuals and community there. But that's going to be changing soon, so don't worry. But we also need your help in doing that, so make sure you follow the Mahogany Project on all social media platforms, look into the work that we're doing, and just stay connected, and I'll be here later to share more about the organization.
Pronouns.
Yes. So our pronouns are Vernice, she, her, hers, they, them, never theirs, because it's always mine.
Hello. Hello.
I'm just I have to plug my organization right quick. I am Director of Advocacy for Black and Pink. So look us up. We've talked a lot about Black and Pink, but I'd be remiss if I did not make sure that I give you all my website for We Care Tennessee, www.wecaretn.org. There's the donate button on there. And I just want to tell y'all, I just love seeing all of us in here, so I'm going to shut on up and pass the mic, but everybody looks good. Thank you for just celebrating us.
I had prepared a quote, actually, because when Dominique had made this invitation, I thought we were coming to talk about specifically that issue, but I want to say breaking the gender to prison pipeline requires dismantling the systems of discrimination and violence that push transgender women and girls into incarceration and building a world that supports their full inclusion and empowerment.
Inclusion and empowerment, that's right. Yes.
I know you in Black and Pink, but I know you got consulting, you launching classes and more stuff.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I am the Senior Strategy Advisor for San Francisco Community Health Center. I am also the principal and founder of the Vision Consultant. And most recently, I launched the Equality Institute, where I am packaging and I'm actually working towards accreditation, so that's why you're still waiting, Furnace. But packaging courses and making accessibility for trans individuals, that the impairment, because I wrote a white paper most recently about the imperative issue of creating opportunities of education for trans masculine and trans individuals. Because in this country, if we say that the keys to success is through education, why is it that we're blocking people out? Because those people, trans masculine folks, and for trans feminine individuals who do not take part in the selective service, then that bars them from reaching financial aid. So how could they ever have access to educational opportunities if those are not created? And so through the Equality Institute, that's what I want to try to promote, that access and accessibility for education opportunities.
We're smart.
Dominique Morgan, pronouns are she and her. I am the new director of the Fund for Trans Generations at I'm honored to follow the steps of Bree Rivera, second Black trans woman to run a large philanthropic fund in the United States. And we have just opened in January our Rapid Response Fund. And so please apply. You will look on the website. It's a project budget of $600,000 or less, not organizational budget. Apply, apply, apply. I am not in here fighting these white folks to not be able to see y'all applications and try to get some money to y'all. I need y'all to understand this. Because we talked about bags, I can get a bag anywhere. This was an intentional move, so please do that. And launch, Starks and Whitaker Consulting in August, and doing great work with NASM and work with the city of Atlanta. We'll talk more about that later. And I just want to say that there are folks up here who I know without a doubt, the things I've been able to do in the last 3 years are because of the things they've done over the last 10, the last 20, the last 30. And so I don't care what my version of this looks like. I know that there are people who I will never know who made this possible. So thank you all for coming up here, and thank you for what you're going to share. And thank you all for holding space for these folks. Do not leave until all of these girls and share what they need to share with you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Korea Kelly. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and my pronouns are she, her, her. We're 3 hours away, so I'm late. I am the executive director of a new up-and-coming organization called the Trans Empowerment Society. I definitely want to be here today. I do many things, let me say that. I'm also a case manager for our Spot KC, which is Lionhouse, is our program for transitional housing for youth 18 to 24. We help get them housed into our program. We bring them to our program and educate them on life skills. Because as trans people, sometimes doctors and organizations are quick to give trans youth hormones while educating them about who they are. And so my job is to make sure that I educate my youth about who they are and the process of taking that. Also, as a new person, as a black person in the Midwest, like Dominique said, there's not many of us who pay attention to us. I'm in the center of the United States, dead center, that dot is in the middle.
Nebraska is the center.
We're gonna share, sister, we're gonna share that dot. We're gonna share that dot because we're like 3 hours apart from each other, but ain't too far. So we're gonna share that dot. But in that dot, we're missing that funds. The funds y'all get on these East and West Coast and the Southern coalitions and all that. I need them funds to start coming into the Midwest. But I would like to say the funders in the audience, there's an organization in Kansas City that would remain nameless, but make sure you're funding organizations that are trans-led and that money is going into that city. Because a lot of money is coming into my city. For those of you that's on here, a lot of money is coming into my city of Kansas City, but I'm the person that the money that I'm not a full organization yet, the money's coming out of my own pocket. I bust my ass, excuse my language, like a lot of people say, every day because I eat and sleep and breathe this work since age 15. And a lot of money is coming to my city to white organizations or organizations led by another brown person that's not of African American descent. That is not the money is going out. So I need people to realize that we need black and brown people. I have buried just like y'all. Since 2004, I have buried over 26 people in Kansas City. My emotional state is at risk right now. I am tired. I want to walk away from this work. Many of you know that I was a general manager of Chuck E. Cheese and walked away from this work several times because I was mentally distressed. I have no one to call. I try to put those calls out there, but nobody answers my motherfucking call. It hangs up. So I'm asking not only to introduce myself, but to say, my name is Korea Kelly. I'm the new executive director of Trans Empowerment Society, and I need help in Kansas City, Missouri.
Thank you so much for everybody that's sharing. My name is Sage Dolan Sandrino. I am from Washington, D.C., but I'm based in Brooklyn, New York. I lead the creative Projects for Liberation at the National Black Justice Coalition, where I serve as the Monica Roberts Fellow. Thank you. I'm 22 years old and I've been doing this work since I transitioned at 12 years old. I was an ambassador to the White House Initiative for Educational Excellence for African Americans under the Obama administration. Doing work. Thank you to establish the Obama era Title IX protections for trans youth, and I'm tired. I'm tired as fuck, actually. And I'm so glad that everybody up here is still here, because my black trans sisters have You guys have created opportunity for me, engineered possibility for me to see myself reflected. When I was 12 years old, I walked into Smile and I saw Molly. And she saw something in me. She didn't just see that little shake and go. She saw a beautiful, wonderful, deserving young girl. And I'm so glad that I get to stand on the shoulders of everybody in this room and who's not in this room. Jordan J from BTFA, Raquel Willis. It was a Black trans woman who gave me $6,000 to make sure I could move to New York City and out of the rural town in New York that I was living in, where there was no other Black trans woman in the entire zip code. So thank you to everyone so much. And I just want to plug my work again at MBJC and my personal work as a creative director and consultant and storyteller. My most recent project is Flowers, which is a 7-part docu-series and photo video journalism series on Black trans women living in the New York area and the work that they do. You can watch this series on my Instagram and on NBJC's Instagram. My personal Instagram is Thrift with 2 H's, like the thrift store, because that was the first place I was ever able to explore my gender identity. And we're trying to get into the 2nd season of Flowers, and we need funders to fund this important work. It's important that we archive and create representations of our existence as Black trans women, and that we create resources where we can be quoted, because too often we don't have tangible resources that allow white people who are looking for other excuses to erase us an opportunity to do just that. So thank you so much to everybody here for existing, and thank you to my sisters and all the amazing women who I've met just this weekend.
Hey everybody, my name is Brianna Jenkins. Pronouns she, her, hers. Originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Currently reside in Houston, Texas. And just to be real with y'all, I work at my org, Tilda. Shout out to Tilda Self in the House. I thought about quitting my job this week because I'm burnt out. I'm tired. I often feel alone. I often feel like I'm not valued, and it's hard. It's really hard. Before I get off the mic, and yeah, I'm a lawyer and I do all of this stuff, but no, don't stand, please.
Okay, what's happening?
Because I think sometimes, especially and I know people are proud, but it puts you in a box, and it puts you where a lot of times I don't feel like I'm a real person. Because usually when people are coming to me, it's on their worst day. It's hard. It's hard to be in a space, and I get tired. And as a cancer survivor, like I physically get so tired, and I just want to break. And I'm just want to thank a couple of people on this panel. First, I want to thank Aya. So in Baltimore, I founded the Baltimore Transgender Alliance. Nobody has ever thanked me for doing the work that I did to create the possibility of a future where Aya has been able to come in and just create a new, and I'm so proud of you. That's you thriving. Those are the tears that I cried when I was fired from my nonprofit job by a Black cis woman who tokenized Black trans women just to get the grant, and fired us as student, not just me, another Black trans woman, fired us, created dissension in the community, being tokenized by white trans men who wanted to dominate. So you are like the manifestation of my person. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of London. Like, I lost so much being the face of the movement in the city. So many people turned their backs on me in community. So many people counted me out. I was difficult to work with. I was violent. So it makes me feel so, on the days where I just feel like giving up and feel like retreating into my corner. Seeing just the success that you all have had and the way that y'all are able to move and shake in Baltimore in ways that I couldn't have dreamed of, and the trans women that came before me that created the path for me. I'm so happy to see that. Dominique, you know about the depression that I've been going through at my job. And this lady, she's creating a way for me to get out. Dominique, thank you so much. Thank you for listening, but thank you for using the power that you have. Because there's so many days I get tired and I just want to quit. Or I just want to go off on my supervisor because they're trying it. But I know I can't do that because as a black woman, as a dark-skinned, heavy-set black trans woman, I will be blackballed and I will never get the chance to have a bad day or to start over again. And before I hand the mic over, one of the reasons I moved to Houston and Texas, even though the South is so scary and all of this bad things, they have community in Houston in a way that I've never seen. And Elena's, from the first moment I met you, you didn't care who I was or that you just wanted to get to know me, and not too many people do that. She gave me this gift that she's been meaning to give me for the past 3 months since we met. It's like a picture of us in our heart that we took. Thank you for getting to know me. Because most people don't. They want to get to know the lawyer, but most people don't want to get to know me. And Bernice, thank you. Thank you for creating. You are keeping me alive. Because I don't have any family in Houston. But I moved to Houston because y'all are creating. There was no community in DC. Ruby ruined that. And thank you, Aya, for trying to start DC Safe Haven.
We got a job for you.
Thank you for starting DC Safe Haven because there was no community in DC. I was in DC for 2 years and I was struggling. I had suicidal ideations. I didn't have no, so thank you for building that, but there was no community, so that's why I ran to the South, because I needed to be around people to lift me up and to support me so that I can, do the work, but do the work on my terms. So I just want to thank you all, and just thank all of you all for just being vulnerable. It's great that we are making strides and that we are in these titles, but we are still human. We're still people. For those of us that's still women, for those of us who date men, it's hard. It's hard. And in my life, I've only felt safe around other women. I can only depend on other women. So I work really hard to try to curate those relationships and to build community, because those are the things that you need, especially as you go up and up and up. You need your community because all you have is your own. So thank you all. And Dominique, thank you for shifting the focus of this to give space so that we could all be with each other.
Alanis North says she, her, hers. First, I always say the double side of the P. I'm gonna go personal first. Thank you for creating space. As you know, I'm from Houston, Texas, and there is not many representations of that. I'm one of the few people who have helped start it and create the trans narrative in Houston, Texas.
Amen.
I'm the person who thought about when COVID came, what about our people who are taking care of us? Well, how can we get direct services? And so I jumped into it. Out of my bedroom, me and my team did $147K for trans people during COVID, giving up their funding. People don't think that's much for Texas. It's a lot. That is a lot. Being someone who has been around a long time, I want us to take a moment to applaud this image of visibility. A lot of times people aren't thinking about aging in trans. I am 50 years old, okay? And we normally do not see our sisters make it to this point.
Yes.
In these positions of executive directors, anything of that. So these are important. These things here are visually forms of mentorship. Believe it or not, we are mentoring visually when we don't know it, all right? I would say this, we are not running a race, we are the race.
Oh, yes.
Stop looking for the light at the end of the tunnel and realize you are the light.
That's right.
This is a hard, isolating job, it separates you, it's self-sacrificing, it's wear and tear, and it's easy to be seen for a body of work instead of a body of work. Reclaim your time. Director of Save Our Sisters United in Houston, Texas. I am also the newly director of programs for the transgender education network across Texas, and I am presently the acting ED at this moment. But no, thank you for the space. Thank you for creating the space to exist, because sometimes I want to walk in the room as Alandis and my trauma, and not this person that has to deal with everybody else.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
My name is Ciora Thomas. I firstly just want to thank you for this, because I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We don't have this. We don't have the space to convene as only Black trans women.
Amen.
In a space to have conversation without the cisgender gaze or opinions or thoughts, just to be able to exist, as us. So thank you. My name is Ciora Thomas. I am the founder and executive director of Sisters PGH. We are a Black transgender-led 501c3 nonprofit organization in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We provide so much. I started this work as a homeless teenager, a homeless drug addict, sexual rape survivor, so many things. And coming into this work with no model, no other Black trans women or folks to show me how to do this. How do I run a fucking nonprofit organization? How does a crackhead run a nonprofit organization, right? And living in the streets with my sisters and seeing how we were navigating Pittsburgh at that time. And from that point, I got myself clean and I grinded. And if you don't know something about Pittsburgh, we call Pittsburgh the South of Pennsylvania. It's the South of Pennsylvania. The white supremacy in Pittsburgh is very real. And what I've noticed over the years is loud as I have been in the streets, in my nonprofit work, in my professional work, white supremacy has shown up in so many different ways for me. It has shown up in ways within the LGBTQ community. It has shown up in ways where it puts our sisterhood against each other.
Yes.
And trying to navigate a space where I want to fucking leave. I'm tired. But I have managed to open our community center in Pittsburgh and Allegheny County that is specifically for trans people, where they can come and receive resources and programming that is ran and directed by other trans people in the community.
Yes.
We have about 8 programs that are active and running. Our TGNC Youth Collective, which is young trans people that I've got to the table. I don't like to say that I've allowed to the table, because I built that table for them to be there.
Amen.
So, in providing the resource so that they could organize in Pittsburgh in a way like I organize in Pittsburgh, and with very much fuck white supremacy, fuck these gatekeepers. We can create our own platform. We don't need these folks who has generationally harmed us and kept us oppressed in this system on purpose, so that their organizations can continue going. Without our participation, they don't exist. So we have that, our TGNC Youth Collective. We have Project T, which is like my baby. It's our transitional housing space that specifically for Black and brown transgender people. We serve a predominance of transgender women, from the ages of the 18 to about 25. We don't care about the age, but since we started the program, since we bought a home, we bought a fucking home, y'all. We own the land. And that'll be in our generations forever.
Amen.
Forever. And I created the programming for the space to be like holistic about when our folks come in here. This is not just, and I tell the girls, this ain't a shelter, y'all. This is the space where you want to come in. My staff is going to work with you. I'm going to work with you. I'm not an Eiffel Tower executive director. I'm very hands-on with the girls that come into our space. And we make sure their mental is taken care of, their physical is taken care of. We're finding them employment. We're providing them, financial support and a means to move out and become a homeowner. That's the goal. That's how we end marginalization. I did not get into I remember I was laying down years ago when I was laying outside or sleeping outside, and I'm a homeowner now. I'm a homeowner. And that's liberating.
Yes.
That's liberating as a homeless girl. I remember I looked up a nonprofit and what that shit was before I knew what it was. And the definition of what I read was, you come in with a goal, you eradicate that goal, and then you're no longer needed. If we can get to that point, that would be the goal.
Amazing.
If we push our community to be sustainable within the margins.
Amen.
And close those margins so our communities can stand on their own, that's going to disrupt the nonprofit industrial complex. That's going to disrupt the white leadership, the cisgender folks who have been essentially pimping the fuck out of the Black and brown trans community through nonprofit work. But in this, I've been doing this work for a long time. It's been about 15, 20 years now. I'm 34 years old.
Whoa.
And I'm trying to figure out who the fuck I am outside of this work. What do I like to do? And I don't know right now. I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't know. And I instill this work into every trans person that comes into our organization because Pittsburgh has done a hell of a job to try to erase me. They've put weapons and right in my face to try to erase me. And I kept going. I'm the highest paid Black trans woman in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in Allegheny County, because I work for that shit.
Nice.
And I teach and instill that into our girls in Pittsburgh. This is not a game for me. This is not a ball. This is not a function. This is real life.
Amen.
And when our community come to us, or come to our organization, come to my staff, our leadership team, we're dealing with real life situations. So we continue building that leadership and motivation in a city of bridges that can't bridge shit. I'm just tired. Like, I'm geared and I'm ready to keep doing this work. Listen, I'm gonna buy all types of land and houses in Pennsylvania. Create all types of jobs in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna get the coin that we need. It's taking a while, but our budget's currently at $500,000 now as a Black trans-led organization. And we're moving that, and we're existing, and we're being a model for other girls where I live, for other folks to start organizations in Pittsburgh, to be inspired by the footsteps and the trauma that I've experienced, to keep moving and existing. So, outside of this I started talking about Project T. Look us up. I'm www.sisterspgh.org. SISTERS. P is in Paul, G is in girl, H is in Harry. .org. That's a case. Look us up and check out the influential work we do. My board is amazing. Like, they ride hard as fuck for me. And you need a strong team in Pittsburgh. You need it anywhere, but you need a strong team when, even being Black and brown, in a place where we have been put in a position to just be the slaves of white supremacy, the servants, the subservients to this white supremacy, even the queer white supremacy, the LGBTQ supremacy, cis supremacy that we experience. But to continue doing that and being a vessel for our community. So, yeah, I'm talking, I'm rambling, but thank y'all.
You got it, sis. You got it. You got it.
It's important that I introduce myself with basically giving understanding and knowledge of, and being aware that who you are and what you do are two different things, right? Who I am, I'm a spirit, I'm healing, I'm love, I'm a door. I'm a door. I know that if I sit and exist and be that door, that once that door is open, there are going to be so many other brilliant folk behind me. With that gift, with that love, with that spirit, with me being a door, I'm a mother, I'm a woman, I'm an executive director, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. I'm the founder of the Trans Women of Color Healing Project that's in rural Georgia, where we have a project called the Trans Women of Color Healing Project, but we have a Healing Through the Highways project where we focus on 12 rural counties in Georgia.
Nice.
Our mission, our goal is to erase and eradicate and combat the erasure of trans lives, narratives, and most importantly, trans existence in society. We have the privilege, but it's a privilege because we have been honored with the CDC and with the health department of District 4, and we also work with Mercy University, where we're working with 12 rural counties outside of Atlanta. Atlanta is Black, and it's known as the LGBT Mecca, but outside of Atlanta, once you leave the city of Fulton, you're in destitute, right? So, and where I'm in rural county, Newnan, Georgia, Peachtree City, Tyrone, there's only 3 hospitals. And what we're doing with the Healing Project is we're making sure that we're going out to community. We're not waiting for them to come to us, we're going to them. We're being those doors. We're creating the services that's needed to combat the racial, trans lives narratives, and most importantly, our existence in society. And with that, I'm also a life coach. Yes. I'm working on a groundbreaking training that's gonna elevate, live, and liberate our community. So if you could follow us at www.twochealingproject.org. There's a donate button. Please donate and really support the amazing work that's being done in rural Georgia. I love you, I appreciate you, and thank you so much for giving us this platform and this space. And most importantly, it's hard for me to take up space because I'm a firm believer that let the work that I have done speak for me. And I do believe that silence is golden, but I also know that if I'm doing what I need to do, my mission in life, if I can touch somebody along the way, then my work is not in vain. If I'm not blessed with the ability and the gift of life tomorrow, I know I have impacted some amazing people. And now that I have been able to I've freed myself and I've got permission to be able to use my voice and exercise my gift and be that door that's needed to the healing that's conducive for my community. Thank you for giving me this platform, for giving me this moment and this opportunity. And yeah, thank you. So follow us once again. I'm Troy Washington Reynolds. I didn't even say my name. I said who I am and what I do, but I'm Toy Washington Reynolds. That changes, right? I don't really harbor on the what we do, because that what we do is the thing that allows us to be present. Society has already said that you're a sex worker. you're ex-con, you're a felon. But if we remove that thing of what we do and really do soul work of who we are, I have a purpose. So all of those other adjectives will never stick to me because who I am is always going to be who I am. But what I do is always going to change. So do not allow those negative things impact the who you are. Find that purpose, stick to that, and let that be your guiding light and navigate you.
Love it.
So y'all will find that I often use comedy to kind of move through things, so I'm gonna try to make mine real quick. I am the Dr. John Paul, founder of Dr. John Paul LLC. I am what I like to think is a meteor maker and shaker. A lot of the stuff that you see, a lot of the stuff that you have read, I have been the person behind it to make it go. I want to say this real quickly. I'm gonna try to get through this real quick because I don't like the person I become when I'm hungry. And so to make this real quick, I really want to quickly say real quick. I also host the Black Fat Femme podcast on iHeart Network. It is the first and only Black, queer, non-binary show on a national network that is doing numbers. So I want to say that if you are not listening to my show, you can support me. Turn on, you can find my podcast everywhere where you like to listen to your podcast. That is what I'm asking you to do. Add my show, listen to it. The revenue share is what keeps my lights on at the end of the day.
What's the name again?
Black Fat Femme podcast. You will find my big face on the actual Black History banner for Apple this month. All that to be said, I really want to say very quickly, while I have done stuff, I've worked with so many major companies. I'm coming off of some stuff. I work with Rainbow Pride Youth Alliance in San Bernardino, which is the Inland Empire of California. I work with a lot of Black and trans non-binary youth to make sure that they can see folks like myself. I also work in the classroom with said youth. I work at University of Redlands as an educator. But the one thing I did want to quickly say, about 3 weeks ago, I almost deleted all the stuff off my computer and shut my computer and said, I don't want to do any of this anymore. I don't want to teach, I don't want to write, I don't want to speak, I don't want to do anything because I too am also very tired. And there's two things that just happened and I have to share it. You came up to me in the bathroom and you said, I am a fan of your show. And it hit me like, oh damn, people I don't even know are listening to me. In 2017, I got fired from the consortium, the higher education, them down there smiling and having a good time. They fired me the first day that I took a job as an executive director because of the work that I have done publicly for Black trans people. And when I walked past that room into here with Dominique, I looked at that consortium thing and I said, thank you, because you opened the door for me that I would have never been able to do. So I want to say to the people in this room who are Black, trans, y'all are going to work every day. Dominique has no idea how seeing them do stuff makes me wake up every day saying, Dr. Higgins, you are on the right path. I said, nigga, I'm going to France and made her write on a script with a director who I love. A horror director I love. There is no way I'd be able to have those opportunities. I'm literally going to be a nigga in Paris. Period. Right? So I say all that to say, like, I know y'all are hungry and y'all are probably like, oh, like wrap it up, got the box and stuff. But all that to be said, like, there is so much power when you literally say there is nothing that this world can take from me because of who I am. And I wake up now, the last few weeks I've been waking up and people are like, oh, you're winning. It's because I'm sitting back and I'm saying, you know what? I know what I'm here to do. And I'm not here to keep this system going where people think they got me. So every morning when I wake up now, I go, hi, you thought you had me, but you don't, because I got you.
I got you.
And so really, for everybody who's on this panel who are feeling tired, burnt out, y'all are crying, your contacts might be coming out your eyes. I see you, Dominique, because mine didn't want to go in this morning. All that to be said, we got y'all. And literally tap into your power because really, honestly, there's somebody here at this conference who needs it.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Jalen Scott, Executive Director, Lavender Rights Project. We're in Tacoma and Seattle, Washington. I just want to be real. I am deeply honored to be sitting here with you all. And I want to speak for our organization. We had a different path. It was mostly white organization. We took it over. And essentially, we have -2 staff. All of our staff are Black and trans, and 6 Black trans women in leadership. And we're doing it, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the Pacific Northwest, and we all feel isolated. So I'm gonna kind of represent them with my own emotional state. At this moment, it's like, the shit's hard. The work's really hard, and there's not a lot of support, and we feel completely disconnected. Borders kind of don't make sense for a lot of us because Black trans folk, right, we're transgender from a number of different places, and for survival, most of the folks that I know that are Black and trans in Seattle came there for refuge, right? Because there's like progressive laws and healthcare access and a number of things, and so that's kind of beneficial, but the negative part of that is you lose yourself and you lose everything in the sea of whiteness. But I don't want to say that Seattle's white because it ain't. Africatown is there, we've been there historically, Black trans folk, the Black trans community has been there, it's been in Tacoma, it's been in Portland, and we also have like very, very little visibility. So remember us. And I think in this group right here, I want to let y'all know how badly our community wants to be connected with every single one of you, how they talk about it, how they follow you on social media, how all we do is talk about, in years, Dominique, we're talking about all of you and all the work that you're doing. And we do have a little bit of access to resources. We ain't got no money, but we have access to resources. We can get this tech money in, we can work together, make sure folks in the South and the Midwest are doing some shit. And then y'all can exchange with us how to do better practices, right? We're working on a housing project right now, 36 Black trans people. We're working on a number of other issues, so jail and prison abolition. Particularly, we have some attorneys who are on to do some hardcore work. We need to do that work, plus organizing work in the community. And so the work's happening there. And don't forget about us in the Pacific Northwest, LavenerRightsProject.org. Thanks for listening to me.
Sharing